All right, guys, gals, and non binary pals, we are now ready. Indeed, I have received confirmation that it is time for the moment you've all been donating for. We are going to get to Halo 2 Any Percent featuring Monopoly. Take it away!
What's up, guys? I'm Mr. Monopoli. I'm going to be running Halo 2 Any Percent. This category's definition is any percent, which is pretty consistent across many other games, but it's a little different with how it's executed. Any percent for this is start at the start and finish at the end. The glitches here at the start are going to come pretty quick. So the first thing you'll notice is that I'm playing on co-op. I'm going to be controlling both players doing glitches that require respawning. When you play in co-op, you can respawn next to your teammate. So what I just did was I killed my teammate, and then I blocked his respawn by restarting the mission, or by standing on top of that train, and then I restarted mission while his respawn was blocked. So since his respawn was blocked, it activates a glitch, and then I restart the mission while it preserves some of that glitchy state. So now what I'm doing is I'm running into this box over and over again. Running into that box will offset my hitbox and allow me to pass through that wall. That skips a whole intro section where normally you have to see a bunch of Covenant. Between this next load zone, I'm going to try to damage myself with my own battle rifle. By doing a button combo where you shoot twice and then switch weapons, you can damage yourself with your own bullets. That allows me to die faster at this load zone and activate some of the glitchy respawn I was talking about. So the reason I restarted mission there and did that respawning stuff was so now I can crouch in this corner and respawn inside of my teammate, and that allows me to spawn inside of myself on the other side of the door. But you'll notice both controllers are moving. I'm only holding one controller right now. Since I took control of my teammate's body, they both occupy the same body, and I can move them with just one controller. I can separate them by dying against a door, and when I do that, the body will go halfway through the door, and I can use that to skip another whole section of enemies. So then I delete the body, and now he's stuck in space, but that'll allow it to disappear. Once it disappears, I can continue with the mission like the co-op scripts would normally allow. There are some required triggers that make sure both players are present, but it's if you delete the body, then he can respawn and be present with you. So we've already done a lot at the start. I know, there's a whole bunch of glitches there. I'll explain the stealing your teammate's body a little bit more in detail. You'll see it in a couple more levels. The co-op stuff is a new groundbreaking glitch that was discovered within the last year called, or maybe it's been a year and a half now. Lost track of time, who hasn't? But, so the glitch is called arbitrary unit possession. It allows you to steal the bodies of any character that normally spawns on the map. Those characters include enemies like the elites, so the jetpacking elites that you see behind me, technically with a series of complicated glitches, you can steal people's bodies, and like, if you become a jetpack elite, you gain the ability to fly. If you become a marine, you gain the ability to drive some vehicles that normally you can't, like the Pelican. You'll see an interesting flying vehicle on the next level when I get there. It's my favorite glitch I'm most excited to show off. So this arbitrary unit possession glitch was first discovered by me and a group of my friends, Ark the Shark, Dr. Biz, Nibre, LDG. We all put in a bunch of work to do a whole bunch of research. We spent hundreds of hours over the last year kind of perfecting it and figuring out how exactly you can affect the memory to give you what you want. And as all glitches go, as you figure them out better, they just get put into the speed run and make the run harder. So some of them are pretty hard. I'm actually really excited that I got this first section so good. This has gone way better than I expected so far. Usually I have to revert a couple times on the part where you go through that door, but everything's gone first try through this. We cleared this last room. We complete the level Kyra station. Shouldn't be any more enemies in here. Nope. And we're on to the next level. That was really good. So we'll see another example of that arbitrary unit possession here, where I'm going to walk forward with one guy and block this hallway. So I use this trash can to prevent my marines from going through this door, and then I block it with my body. I betray my teammate, I delay his respawn, and then I crouch in this corner to prevent him from respawning. Once the game's trying to respawn him and he's in that specific state, I restart the mission. So all of that, even though I restarted mission, it was all set up to do the next section. And that took like 30 seconds, and you may think that's losing time, but when you see what it accomplishes, it's definitely worth it. I reverted there because my marine was going to run forward, and when they run forward, if they shoot any bullets, the glitch won't work. There's also a chance a grunt can spawn in front of me and shoot right there, but he didn't spawn there, which is good. So I got lucky. So I just spawned as a phantom. A phantom is the flying vehicle in this game. It's a Covenant transport vehicle. You can see it here a little bit. I'll give another look at it in a second. I don't want to lose too much time here. It's a speed run, but so normally you're never supposed to be able to fly a phantom at all. It's an off-limits vehicle that only the Covenant can use. But I turned myself into a phantom by making it so that the game was trying to respawn me as a Spartan, but the memory address was instead pointing to the phantom, and it just happens to work. The phantom's completely invincible. It can survive the out-of-bounds void space. So I went into that tunnel, hit the load to progress the mission, and it spawns my phantom teammate out of bounds. He survives the out-of-bounds space and drives straight to the tunnels, which is the next load zone, and skips an entire beach section. And then you can hit another load in the tunnels. I'll waste a little bit of time here because the run's going so good so you can see the phantom. But this is the phantom. I'm the giant purple thing. I can shoot its gun. Alright, let's get out of here. Look how fast it flies. Way faster than the Ghost. Way faster than the Warthog. By far the coolest method to travel. I always get Initial D music playing in my head when I zoom through this section. It's quite hard to control in the tunnels because it's really big. You can't really tell from the first person point of view because you can't even see the gun. If I switch to my battle rifle though, you can see that the player has arms that are white. Normally Master Chief, the playable character, he has green arms, but whenever you steal other people's characters, you get like different effects. It's just kind of interesting. And just like that, we are out of outskirts. My least favorite part about that glitch is that it's too short. We're already on to the next one. Alright, so this is probably a good time for donations. I've been talking your ears off. This mission's just a driving mission. There's not a whole lot of co-op stuff here, so I just leave one guy behind. A lot of times I'll look down at the ground to reduce lag, and the other guy will just do some driving. So we can read some donations now.
Alright, sounds good. Well, let's start with Ethan Knoll, $10. Another member of the Coffee Crew mod team. Loved seeing Pulse and Swift neck and neck heading toward the end of the run. Both are fantastic speedrunners and wonderful people, and it's wonderful to see them putting on such a great race. Also, nobody has said Snive Knee yet. Yeah, that was to the Pokemon Black and White race. Unfortunately, it is a little bit past that, but regardless, wonderful pun there, and thank you for your donation. We also got $170 from the man, 1086. My brother and I used to run Halo 2 co-op back in the day, so of course I had to stay up and watch this run. Love to see everyone pitching together to raise so much money for such a great cause. Oh, and how about a 5,000 anonymous donation? Halo is one of my favorite series, and Monopoly has become my favorite runner. Always quality across all his years at GDQ. Here's to a great run. Wow. Thank you so much for that generous donation, Anonymous, whoever you are. You certainly have my gratitude.
Thanks, I'm glad I'm your favorite streamer, Mr. Anonymous. Appreciate the kind words. We're coming up on the second half of the mission here, where we've driven through the tunnels. You're not really supposed to bring a Warthog through these, like, those tight areas of the tunnel, but with some precise driving, you can squeeze it right on through. Once you get to this area, you have to kill a few enemies here. These are wraiths. If you board them at the same time you throw a grenade, you can put the grenade inside the hatch without having to blow off the top. It saves a few seconds of having to melee damage the wraith before you blow it up. So there's a potential soft lock that can come up here that I'm going to try to avoid by going fast. There's a window of slowness. If you're the perfect amount of fast, but not like perfect, then you'll get a soft lock. So you either need to go really slow or really fast. If you're in the window of mediocrity, you'll soft lock your run. So far, I've gone fast enough on this level, so I'm not going to have to slow down, which is good. We shouldn't get the Scarab deload. The thing that happens is the Scarab, the giant vehicle that we're supposed to board to finish this mission, it completely disappears and prevents you from completing it. That happens because you trick the game into trying to delete one of the previous Scarabs, which happens to delete this one. So this is that vehicle. It's gonna walk towards me. I'm gonna try to time a grenade jump so that I jump on it right when it goes by. There are alternate ways to get on the Scarab. In previous GDQs, you may have seen me do the super bounce to get on top of it. In co-op, the super bounce is a little laggy, and it's just a little less consistent, so I didn't do it, but I did get on it. Trick accomplished. Saves a few seconds, and now we can finish the mission by clearing off the enemies once they spawn inside. Normally you have to go around and like jump on top of a bridge and then board the Scarab a little later in the mission. Once you kill the 3 pilots that are on it, the mission will end, and we're on to the next one. So anyone that joined midway might be wondering why we were doing co-op. We're back to doing co-op strats here. This level has another AUP, or arbitrary unit possession. I'm gonna have my player die at the start here. I need to kill this guy to have the door open, and I need to pay attention to the contents that he drops. So there, he didn't shoot at all, and he didn't drop any grenades. He has a chance to shoot up to 4 bullets and drop up to 2 grenades, and you need to account for that whenever you do this, because if the memory isn't like perfectly aligned to what you're trying to accomplish, then nothing happens with this trick. So although it's like relatively easy to perform, it's very precise. If you're off by even 1 bullet, so like if one person shoots a bullet or drops a grenade that you didn't account for, nothing happens when you don't realize there's a glitch that could take place. But I think I did everything right. I think I counted for it. We kill our allies there because it makes the door open faster. It skips a bunch of dialogue. There's a whole bunch of like story exposure here talking about we're now playing as the alien character. So half of the story in this game you play as Master Chief, and half of it you play as the alien character called the Arbiter. This is the first Arbiter mission. You can hit this button through the wall, which activates the elevator. I'll use that time to go pick up some grenades. While the elevator's falling, I have one of my players die so that he can activate the arbitrary unit possession. This will allow me to spawn inside myself and go through that wall. Please don't die. Okay, that was close. So now that I'm stuck inside the same body, I'm going to do the same trick that we did on Cairo. I'm going to try to launch my body through the door very similarly. I succeeded. Very good. So normally you're supposed to kill a whole hangar of enemies in that room. They will spawn in a phantom, and then your allies will come help you open a door, and then you'd come to this area. But this skips killing a whole bunch of waves of sentinels and heretic enemies. And now in these hallways, I'm utilizing different tricks with the sword. There's a bunch of button combos in Halo 2 that you can use with the sword and with other guns using the X button. The X cancels a bunch of animations. So if you press X while you lunge at an enemy, you can cancel the damage that the sword would have done, but you can keep the momentum from the lunge that it gives you. And if you combine that with the jump, by lunging, canceling the damage, and then jumping, you can keep all your momentum and fly past the people. You use that to traverse a bunch of areas in this game. There's a frame perfect trick coming up here that I might not hit, but let's try it. Never lucky. You can lunge through that glass if you time your lunge with the grenade explosion. I tried to do it, but I didn't get it. And then there's a 50-50 chance on this door. That door will either open on the left side or the right side. It opened on the wrong side, so I lost a little bit more time in this room. This is really the first thing that's gone wrong in the run though, and it's very minor, so no complaints from me. This has actually been a fantastic run. Towards the end here, we just fly to the end. There's a phantom escort mission that you're supposed to do to blow up a bunch of banshees and escort your phantom, but if you know where the end of the mission is, you can just fly there and the end will activate. And we're done with another mission. So this is the last mission that has co-op only tricks. We're gonna do one more AUP. This one's the hardest one that I'm scaredest about for the run. If I get this one, I will be very happy. So we block the respawn by making it so that there's not enough room nearby to respawn. And then we restart mission, and then we line everything up. And now I've got to use both controllers here. I've gotten pretty good at managing both controllers. I kind of put one in my lap and put one above it, and I line up the characters so you don't really have to think about going forward with both. You just treat them like one unit. This route's like the old routes for Halo 2 any percent would never used any of this like crazy co-op shenanigans. This is the first route that's ever done any of it, and I really like it. It's my favorite iteration of the Halo 2 route. Halo 2's changed so much over the years. There's so many classic glitches that the community's found, and as the community grows, we just find more and more complicated stuff, and it builds and grows and grows. So during this room, there's the introduction of the character called the Flood. They're going to come in and we gotta dispose of them and then ride an elevator and stuff. Here's a good time for some donations. I'll just be killing some enemies.
Alright, sure. I'm gonna try and get some donos out of the way from a bunch of people, but we'll see how far we can go here. So, $500 from JD the Bud. Thank you so much for that. Ciareni gives $25 saying, $1 million hype. I'd read that a little bit stronger, but I don't think now's a good time for that due to the intended combat. But we also got a $100 anonymous donation. All the love and bees, but please put this money towards my name. We have $25 from D. Fiala, last donation. Thank you all GDQ staff, runners, fellow donators, and of course, Doctors Without Borders for all the good you bring to this world.
Alright, it's time to cut off the donos, sorry. But now
No
this
problem.
is the hard part of the trick. This is the part I'm most worried about for the whole run. This is an auto-scroller that's normally 3 minutes long. You have to ride the elevator down. There's a death barrier at the bottom of the elevator that prevents you from progressing. I spawned my teammate as a dead body, which means the death barrier doesn't affect him, and then I launched him past the death barrier with these grenades. And this is the first part of the trick complete, which is one of the... Oh, no, okay. Well, we got a checkpoint, so we gotta try it again. Again, it's not easy. If I fail it too many times, I have a plan for a backup anyway. We'll get to that if it comes to it, but... So again, we gotta drop down this elevator shift. This platforming is kind of precise because if you fall for too long, the map just kills you. So you have to stop your momentum on these little ledges. You wanna stand in this corner and just spawn in specifically on this platform. And then launch him past the death barrier. Last time my grenade didn't launch him quite far enough, so it didn't work. Okay, that one worked. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add one more body to the pile. Actually, I'm gonna add 2 for safety. So I use the death barrier to just die and make another character spawn. Oh, come on. Now I gotta wait for these flood to disappear. Any second. Okay. This looks ridiculous, but this saves 3 minutes, so it's worth it. So now what we gotta do is we gotta get some grenades. We wanted those flood to bring us grenades, but they didn't, which is a little bit of a problem. But, oh wait, they kind of did, but I can't really grab them. Do I try this? I'm trying it. Work. No. It didn't work. All right, well, I have a backup plan for this. I actually have 2 Xboxes, and we soft locked right here. But I'm gonna switch HDMI to my other Xbox that is already at the point. Hold on. Gotta go under my desk to switch these cords. Bear with me. Give me 1 minute here. It's like a cooking show. It's worth it. Just hang on. Alright, we take this HDMI cord and we switch it over here. Alright. This is all part of the plan, don't you worry. So now we pretend that this is a cooking show and I baked the cake before the run started. So if you look, there's a little green arrow. I just reverted to the last checkpoint. Well, I gotta do the trick. I'm so silly. I picked up the controller. Oh, I'm so silly. Well, I had a backup. I planned for this and then I threw it away. We can still get the trick. It's not a big deal. We're still gonna get it. I didn't expect that though. That's hilarious. I baked the cake and then I threw it on the ground. I thought I was big brain here. I was like cooking mama here, doing my cooking show. We had the cake prepared. That's honestly hilarious. I did not expect to make that mistake. So we are losing a little bit of our time compared to Estimate, and I did set my time competitive, but there's a reason I set it to be so competitive. I'm sure astute viewers have noticed that the donation incentive is set to 1 hour 17 minutes, and that is because 1 hour 17 is a Halo reference, 117 being Master Chief's call sign. So the time I'm losing here might be pushed a slightly overestimate. Maybe not though. The first part went really well. If I can clutch up the end, we might stay in there. We'll see. Not worried yet. Not worried yet. Going into the run, this was the trick I knew would give me the most trouble, which is why I prepared my second Xbox. Okay, this is looking better. I think. If I fail another couple times, I can just save and quit and start up the next mission. You're not missing many tricks after this. So the problem is, I guess I haven't really explained what the problem is fully. There are co-op triggers that check to make sure both players are, come on, give me grenades, there we go. That make sure both players are present during the next area. Oh, we got it, hell yeah. Okay, rejoice. No sweat at all. We only lost like 2 of the 3 minutes we were meant to save, and then all of that. But, so this room requires both players to be in it. And if they're not, you can't beat it. So whenever you use your teammate to turn him into a dead body to skip down that elevator and save 3 minutes, once he's stuck as a dead body, he can't walk anymore. Because he can't walk anymore, he can't get to this trigger. The only way to get him to this trigger is to delete him. And once you do that, then you can spawn into this room just fine. So we finally done it. Now we are waiting for this room to progress. There's an enemy alive somewhere. Where is it? Supposedly there's an enemy alive. This is interesting. This is that's never happened before. What? Am I? The game isn't progressing the scripts, but there's no enemy. What? There is an enemy. Where? Oh my! I've actually never seen that. Okay, so we lost a little bit more time, but now we can actually continue the mission. No more false starts. The mission has continued. That was the script I was trying to progress. I knew it wasn't progressing because the last wave of reinforcements wasn't spawning. This is the last major part of this fight. Once you kill the certain amount of enemies, which is 1 more, you'll get reinforcements. 942. I look at my 945. I look at my clock. So now this room's on a 1 minute timer. There's gonna spawn infinite enemies for 1 minute. So I'm just not gonna kill any of the enemies for 1 minute, and I'm just gonna wait. What number did I say? 45, or was it a little later? I can't even remember. I said 9. I think I have a timer running, but I already forgot what I said. I think it was 9:45.
If you don't mind, would this be a good time to read a couple of donations?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry. Get some donations.
Nope. Yeah, no problem. We got $25 from M. Kai. This Halo 2 run is amazing. Way to go, chat, for making this happen. Let's smash the rest of these incentives. I couldn't agree more. We also got a $117 dono from Grey Wolf. I love Halo speedruns so much. There's also $25 from D-Wood1, wishing my wife, Catwall12, a happy anniversary. Oh, that's sweet. And then $300 from Clades. I wanted to give some recognition to the international restreams for helping bring this event to a wider audience. It's not always easy to make sense of what's happening on stream, but they put a solid effort in. Shout out to anyone watching from Catgirl Bargains. They still know who they are. And I think we can push it back to you for now.
All right. Well, now that we're out of the actual worst part of the run, we can do some sword cancels. So for the rest of the mission, we are going to progress through the story by just quickly running from point A to point B, completing the objectives, and then killing the heretic leader boss. After this mission, we're going to switch back to single player. So this is the end of the co-op stuff. If you're tired of looking at the split screen FOV, I don't blame you. Part of the reason so some people might remember playing Halo 2 on split screen, and they might remember it being top and bottom rather than left and right. Depending on the way you output the Xbox, you can make it switch between vertical or horizontal split. And I like the greater FOV that horizontal split would give you, but the vertical split makes it easier for solo co-op in my opinion, because I keep one controller in my left hand, one controller in my right hand, and it really just helps me kind of like look left, look right, and know what's going on. Otherwise, I'd much rather have the wider FOV of top and bottom.
Keep your blade handy. I doubt the cape.
So there is a co-op trick coming up here where I'm going to try to time something with both controllers. So first I cut this first cable, and then it activates some dialogue. So the next cables can't be cut until the dialogue's complete. While the dialogue's happening, I'm going to try to put both players at the next two cables. If you do it frame perfectly, like the exact same frame, then you can skip the third set of dialogue here. That looks pretty good. Oh, I missed it. That had to have been just 1 or 2 frames off. It looks close. It's only 10 seconds. But you notice I'm sitting here slashing. It's just completely invulnerable until he talks, and now it'll break. We can get a couple more donations in here. I'm just gonna fly to the end of the mission now.
All right, sure. Well, we got a smiley face comment from Anonymous giving $100. Very short and simple. Scrubadillo also gives 100. I learned about Doctors Without Borders from Magicians Without Borders over 20 years ago, and when I was introduced to GDQ in 2014. I was thrilled to support them through this avenue as well. Good luck to Monopoly giving the Covenant back their bomb. I think you know what that means.
Yeah, it's a Halo reference.
Yeah. Mana22 gives $50. Love GDQ. Got to watch some awesome runs yesterday on my birthday, and even more great games to come. Happy birthday, Mana, and thank you so much for that generous dono. And Majestic Narwhal also gives $25. Loving the marathon so far. How about $50 from Chris saying, Monopoly got me into trying to speedrun Halo 2, and I'm so pumped for this run. There are no words. T-Stud gives $50. Wart, silly aliens. Good luck, Monopoly. Go fast. And, woo boy, $1,000 from Anonymous. Love the GDQs. Thanks, y'all, for keeping them up. Eldritch Wolfie gives $25. Enter comment here. Also to bring something back. Shoutouts to the marble with the screaming man inside. Oh yeah, that did happen today, didn't it? Or did it?
Alright, so we're coming up on the end of the mission here. You might have seen me doing the sword fly trick there. You'll see it coming up more in the run and the single player section. But you can use the long range properties of like a zoom in weapon, like a carbine, and you can swap its reticle onto the sword, and that allows you to do a long range sword lunge, which saves a ton of time in a few seconds. Alright, so this is the part where we save and quit, and we sign out our guest. We say goodbye to split screen. Good riddance. And now we sign in to... Oh, not normal. It wouldn't have made much of a difference, actually. second half, but... So right off the bat here, we're gonna do a quick rocket jump.
Sir, we gotta neutralize those turrets.
Up to this ledge and then continue through the mission. Explosives in this game, like many other games, you can use to boost you forward. You can use grenades, you can use rockets. There's a little bit of that throughout the run. There's a big grenade jump coming up that saves a lot of time. Hopefully I don't miss it. We got a favorable jackal spawn here. These jackal spawns are random. You can distract this guy and then try to melee at him like that. Jump, melee, and cancel the damage of the melee. Even though I didn't have a sword, it's very similar to a sword cancel. Those melee cancels are one of the newer techs in the run that save a few seconds here and there. It's not a huge time save, but the button combos, they add up to, over the course of the run, they add up to quite a bit.
Zone secure for the moment.
The Covenant has control.
I hear you.
Bridge
Starting
ahead.
our approach.
They're
Hang
going to try
tight.
and bottle us up on this side of the gorge. Easier said than done. Inbound Phantoms, the controls to
I'm gonna
extend the
hope to get a
bridge be
checkpoint
in this
here
structure.
soon. Here's the grenade jump. Oh, we got the checkpoint. Very good. Who needs
Watch out,
checkpoints?
Chief. Brakes on the
Probably.
far side.
Probably. Okay, perfect. Nailed it. First try. little sloppy, but we made it across. Could have been cleaner. I was hoping it was cleaner, but good enough. That's actually my first time hitting that in a marathon, even though that trick's relatively consistent. Historically, I've never hit that at a GDQ first try. I've written this game at AGDQ 2014, which a few of the donation commenters have mentioned. And then I ran it again in co-op in AGDQ 15 with my friend Rudy, and both times I failed to get that ghost jump first try. But we have slightly redeemed ourselves. Oh no! Stay on your feet! Oh, am I gonna die? I did die. Where's my checkpoint? Okay, that's not too bad. So I took the ghost out of the map, and then I accidentally fell back in. Because the fall timer in this game it checks if you're falling too fast. I fell for too far for too long, and the game killed me. The fall timer is one of the big challenges to doing launches or cool tricks that you would think if you could blast yourself across the map, you'd save all this time. But the problem is you have to come back down to the ground, and doing that loses all your health and you die. But we get the ghost out of the map properly this time. Don't flip it as we get on this ledge. And we skipped the whole mission here. So I drove forward to hit a load zone and then went backwards. There's some required triggers that you have to hit for the level to progress. I'm just gonna hit them all as quick as I can while out of bounds and then continue. There's another one coming up right here. This is the hardest one to hit. You want to stay out of bounds like this. And then you want to slowly drop the back tail of the ghost inbounds. And by doing that, your reticle will disappear when you know you hit the trigger, and that activates the next area, giving you your signal to boost on out, come onto this part. Now we have to fall in here carefully, make sure to hit all the triggers, spawn the enemies. Very good. Alright, on to the next level. So this is the last room here. We need to finish this mission with a sword. If we don't, it's very bad. So I'm gonna make sure that I pick this guy's sword up. This game has carryover. Weapons that you're holding on one mission will carry over to the next mission whenever you complete it. So I need to start this level with a sword so that I can do those sword flight tricks I was telling you guys about. Here's the first one coming up right here. Oh, well, maybe not. I didn't get a good spawn. You hope for lucky spawns. It's like 2/3 of the time you'll get an enemy that you can sword fly off of to go to the middle. Otherwise, you have to do a grenade jump. Now, I'm gonna spawn these enemies in the middle and use the lunge properties of the sword to quickly get to this gondola. You're never supposed to stand on this gondola during normal gameplay, but by quickly sorting to it, we get to hurry up and cross this lake. The place we're trying to go is over there, and the gondola we're supposed to take is that one. But at first, that gondola starts over there, it comes all the way over here, and then you ride it all the way back. But by doing this route, we're able to meet it halfway and save a ton of time of waiting on this gondola. But it is still a little bit of an auto-scroller, so we can read some more donations here.
Sounds like a plan. Alrighty, so Teflon Pirate gives $100. So stoked to see the Halo 2 run. I know you will absolutely kill it, Mono. Here's to the first try, Butterfly. Also, daily reminder that hip fire is literally 15 years old. Wait, what?
Shoutouts to Teflon.
Yeah. The Only Buck gives $5. Halo 2 was the first FPS that I ever played and fell in love with the series immediately. Can we get a $5 hype train going? Oh sure, why not? I always love me some trains, and donation trains are no different. Sidekick gives $50. Love GDQ and the Halo series. Happy to donate for the first time during such an awesome run. Donation can go toward runner's choice. Citizen Quinn gives $100. Much love to all involved for all that you do. Also, trans rights are human rights. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Cathode Ray Dude gives $25, saying the Halo 2 run began popping off at maximum volume the second Monopoly said go. My head is spinning. Keep killing this run. Go SGDQ!
Alright, so there's one of the cooler sword flies in the run. You redirect your momentum by lining up against the gondola's edge. You lunge at the turret, but you get knocked slightly sideways to this platform. You have to come to this area to start the next part, and getting the fuel rod saves a lot of time. So being able to jump up right to the fuel rod, which is the large explosion gun, makes killing this area very quick.
Looks like we're going down.
And then we've got more auto-scrollers, so more time for donations. These little underwater elevators, you just have to sit in them. There's not a lot you can do. You can look for fish. That's what I like to do, because it's like bird spotting, I guess, but with fish. There's scripted like fish that don't have collision that are random. Sometimes they will float through the container that you're trapped in, and it's always funny just to see the little quirk that they have. It's also a funny teleport here, where you can make it look like you fell off the map, but then teleport right back into the gondola. Anybody get scared?
Sounds...
Now it's fine for some more donations.
I was gonna say, sounds a bit scary if you ask me, though. $25 from Anonymous. $1 million is insane. Thank you to GDQ, all of the amazing runners, and everyone behind the scenes for making this possible for such a great cause and for entertaining us, all of us, all week. Proud to donate during the bonus Halo 2 run. These runs don't disappoint. Best of luck to Monopoly. Onward to $2 million. Rage More Nerd gives $25. So great to see Mono back at a GDQ. This man is an absolute legend. Happy birthday, Mono.
A lot of familiar names in the donations. Shout outs to the subs and community members from my channel. Love you guys.
Well, let's see if you recognize this one. MK Steele gives $100. MK and Walshy are cheering you on from LA. Miss you.
Miss you guys too.
Noise Tank Nick gives $11.70, donating to honor my favorite Pokemon, Master Chief Petty Officer John 117.
117.
Yep. Yeah, I see what they did. Scooty to Fruity gives $25. I think Halo is a pretty cool guy. He shoots aliens and doesn't afraid of anything. Nice. Jane Goose gives $25. Hey Mono, really cool to see this run at a GDQ. Good luck on the run. Has blown my mind already so far. Koala Remixed gives $50. Amazing run and commentary by Monopoly. Loving it. And Master Chief's suit full of bees gives $50. Shout out to player 2 with the screaming man inside.
Let's see if we can find a fish. One of these fish is gonna make this auto-scroller entertaining. It's gonna happen.
Regrets Carrier just received a response from High Charity. A very well encrypted message from the
You can keep
prophet of
reading
truth.
donations for a little bit longer.
Listen to this. Your haste has jeopardized the fulfillment of our covenant. Threatened our
Alrighty,
grand
let's see what
design.
else we got.
That you shall be spared a public display of our
Anonymous gives
Next, only to
$100, no
mercy
comment.
and wise counsel.
Lousy Old Potato gives $250, also no comment.
Killing regrets that should shake up the Covenant leadership.
Let's see
Frankly, it
here.
sounds like you
What's
might
up
be doing fine.
94 gives $10. Have waited so long to see Halo 2 in a GDQ again, especially with my favorite runner, Mr. Monopoli. So glad I got to see it live this year. Good luck on the run, Mono. We also got the FRS giving $10, donating in the name of a group of friends here. We all love Halo and are psyched to see it once again at GDQ. Thanks for taking our favorite game and having it contribute to an amazing cause.
All
That's
right.
always awesome.
I didn't quite get all the way over the mountain. There's a cancel you can do to soar all the way over that mountain that saves a few more seconds. I was kind of hoping to get it. The elite spawned a little too far away though. It's unfortunate. It's one of the cooler looking cancels in the run. It doesn't save that much, but you always want the cool tricks. So we're coming up on the last gondola here. This part of the story, you finally make it to that tower over there, kill the bad guy boss at the end of the mission, and then progress the story.
Roger that.
We'll be using sword flies to get there a little faster, but we have to ride the gondola halfway there before we're close enough to fly. You can only do a sword fly if the reticle that you aim at an enemy with turns red, and then you use that red reticle to swap it to the sword to get that long distance lunge. It's a good song though. This is always a hype part of a good, whenever I'm on a good run, I always get a little hype when I hear this song.
This is my last run, Chief. I'm nearly out of
All
fuel.
right, yeah, we got time for a few more
We
donations
secured
here.
the first tower cluster, so I'll set down there. Call when you're ready for evac.
Alrighty then. Let's see if I can speed off a bunch of anonymous donations that came in over the time. Anonymous giving $1,000. Anonymous giving $500. Another $500 anonymous donation. Anonymous gives $750. Anonymous gives $100. Another $100 from Anonymous. Another $1,000 anonymous donation. Robot MLG gives $500. No comment, but thank you so much. Skeleton gives $500 as well. Love charity. I absolutely agree. I also love charity. Anonymous with $100 saying, "You all are great." No, you are great. And Ball SBS2 giving $30. Can't wait to see how Halo 2 will be broken. Have fond memories of glitch hunting with my best friend as a kid. Well, I certainly hope you are enjoying it because I know I am.
We need to get out of
I'm
here.
having fun too. It's been a good run other than that one part. It's pretty solid so far. We're hitting all the tricks. We might go slightly over estimate, like I was saying though. I set the estimate intentionally to be pretty competitive, and losing all that time might put us like 1 minute over, but don't tell anybody. It'll be our secret. So now we beat Regret, we're back to the missions where we play as the Arbiter. This is Sacred Icon. A lot of people have lamented this level as their least favorite level, and for a long time it was mine as well. But over time the strats have kind of evolved, and there's some cool grenade jumps that you can use to blow up the sentinel emitters and launch yourself through the hallways faster. It used to be just kind of walk in a straight line, but as the movement tech has gotten more complex, this level's become a lot more nuanced than it used to be, and I really enjoy it now. I actually ended up setting the world record on this individual level just a few weeks ago practicing for this event. I haven't held world records for individual levels on easy in a little while before that, but in the last few months I've come back and set a couple. It's nice to be back on the top of the leaderboard in a few of them. If you want to see the world records for any of these levels, you can check out haloruns.com, which is a site that we keep track of all of the leaderboards for all of the Halo games from 1 to 5, including ODST and Reach. We'll also include infinite speedruns there. Great community, a lot of cool speedruns, a lot of cool resources. If you're interested in getting into Halo speedruns, I definitely recommend checking out haloruns.com.
It's no small attack and enforced from the front, especially here.
Here's a little funny quirk of this level. This brute, although it's a dead body laying here, if you pay close attention, it blinks at you. I'm not sure exactly why, but something about the way they placed the preset like scenery bodies around the map, they didn't actually make them dead bodies. They're like technically kind of alive, so they blink at you. It's kind of spooky. I'm gonna try to do a lineup here where I'm gonna throw a grenade straight up in the air, and if I do it right, it'll come back down and land on this enemy. If I miss it, it's not gonna really lose time, but if I hit it, it saves like 2 seconds. Let's see if I timed that right. I did. It was kind of hard to tell, but I promise I hit it. So because this category is so weird where half of it's in single player, half of it's in co-op, this specific category of any percent actually isn't tracked on HaloRuns.com. There's an any percent leaderboard on speedrun.com. HaloRuns.com tracks full game solo and full game co-op. So there's a few categories for this game if you're interested in running. You don't have to just do these crazy co-op glitches. There's basically a category for any kind of interest. This is the most risky room in all of Easy. It's very easy to die to those exploding carriers. I didn't die. I'm happy about that. This is one of the spots I was worried about. Doing some more grenade boosts to get through these hallways a little faster. I'm gonna try to do some shotgun boosts as well. If you press B, X, R, jump, and reload, or B, X, R, jump, like I did there, you can like BXR at an enemy, but if you kill him before your melee reaches him, then you can keep your momentum, like past his dead body, which I did there. It saved quite a bit of time. Try another melee cancel there. Didn't get it. Feels bad. But I did hit one. That was my goal, was to hit one BXR cancel. Feels good. Some of you may notice the graphical glitch that happens on this. I'm playing on the Xbox 360, and if you play on the Xbox 360, a graphical glitch can happen where you'll see like a ghosted image from a previous mission. It doesn't affect the speedrun in any way, it's just a little like visually annoying. They go away in some parts and they'll come back a little bit later. So if you do see a ghosted image, it's not your screen, or not the stream messing up, it's the game. It happens when you play via backwards compatibility on the Xbox 360. This game released for the original Xbox, but the disc plays just fine on the 360. So I prefer the 360 controllers, so that's the console I use.
Out of curiosity, would this be a good time for some donation reading?
Yeah, let's hear some more.
Well, you might recognize this name for sure, because Reptilian Gamer gives $50. So glad to see this run make it into GDQ. AUP is such a jaw-dropping trick the first time you see it, and it's still insane that it's even possible. Shoutouts to Mono for inspiring myself and countless other runners to push Halo 2 and the entire franchise as a whole down further every year. Oh, and did somebody say HaloRuns.com?
Shoutouts to Rep. I died there at the end of the tunnels, you may have noticed. I slid too fast. That's one of the like very few cases in speedrunning where you can go too fast and lose time. Feels bad. But we can go back to donation reading now.
All I was gonna say was, I actually might have received word that Halo Runs might have crashed.
We hugged it to death. Congrats guys, great work.
We also got Angel of Ether giving $10. Halo 2 run is/was amazing. Well, it's still going on, so there you go, but continuing the message, to think me and my buddy on co-op should have become the Phantom, not fight it. We were not thinking outside the box. Dr. Zom PhD says, within 5 minutes, Monopoly detailed possessing the body of your co-op buddy, NPCs, and even enemy dropships. I didn't know Bungie prototyped Super Mario Odyssey back in '04. Big thanks to the GDQ crew and MSF. Oh, and by the way, that was $50, so thank you very much. Mike donates $50 as well, donating literally because this dude put so much time into setting this up. The hot swap didn't work, and he didn't miss a beat. Used to play Halo 2 so much with my buddies. This is extreme nostalgia. Thanks, y'all. No Cake gives $25. I had to donate because Monopoly had the cake faked and threw it on the ground, therefore the cake is a lie. Anyways, that was amazing, and we do feel bad that his backup plan failed, but it left us with a funny joke.
Yeah, there's always a silver lining.
It's as the saying goes, mission failed successfully.
Exactly. Alright, we're coming up on the end of this mission. We just had to clear out a couple waves of enemies and then this phantom approaches. We're still technically within the 117 XX range. I'm looking at my splits. I am running a timer during this just for personal reference. Oh, and my game crashed. Well, we're switching back consoles. Let's go. We're not gonna let this hold us back. Back to the other console.
As we switch,
Yeah, I'm quick at it, but I guess I haven't played. I put that disc planning as a backup. I didn't expect it to crash, but it's not a big deal. All right, there we go. Now we can read.
Okay. Also, I just forgot to unmute myself for a bit there, so I might have just suddenly come up on. I have to apologize to the chat or anyone listening, but Azriela gives $250. No comment, but thank you very much. Mr. Neil R gives 50. Great event. Let's get that Halo 2 run, and we indeed got it. You are hopefully watching it because this is awesome. Prez Kane gives $50 as well. Another $50 because you all are awesome. Heart. Uneven Mike gives $500. Love GDQ so much, I'm donating again. Just Shelby gives $10, donating to the $5 train for my husband and I. We got married on Saturday and are enjoying our time watching GDQ. We have watched GDQ excuse me. We have watched GDQ together ever since we moved in together in 2017. Let's get to that 1 million. We did indeed, and congrats on getting married. That is spectacular.
Alright, so we got this mission loaded up. I've actually never seen the game crash with that specific text box that looked like that. I don't play that console that often. It was specifically for backup, but I'm still surprised that I've played a lot of hours of Halo. I'm surprised I've never seen that specific crash text. But the game crashed there trying to load Quarantine Zone. It just couldn't read the disc. So I had to switch back to my other Xbox, which I know can load the disc. Very, very funny series of events. Gotta love the GDQ marathon luck. This mission's a lot of ghost driving and then a little bit of waiting. There's 2 minutes of kind of intense ghost driving. There's a bunch of enemies trying to shoot at you. You just dodge it all and drive through the mountains. You're not supposed to bring a ghost to the second half of the mission here. There's a barrier here preventing you, but if you just kind of wiggle the ghost around it, it doesn't do much to stop you. They prevented you from going places in Halo 2, but they didn't really stop you. They just kind of suggested don't go this way. It's one of the reasons Halo 2 is one of my favorite games. There's so much opportunity to explore and do what you want. They didn't really box you in anywhere. They just kind of nudged you along. Nice little barrel roll there. There's a few required triggers that you have to hit for this level to progress. So you'll notice I slowed down kind of briefly with the ghost in a couple spots. This is one of them. I need to make sure that I spawn the wraiths and these enemies, which I did. So now I can continue. now we're coming up on the last major auto-scroller of the game. This is a 5-minute auto-scroller. It's the longest in the game, but it's not that bad. There's a little bit of excitement. I like to commentate what I sometimes call the Elite Derby. You can pick a character that you think is going to last the longest during this fight. All of the... I want that. All of the characters on this gondola have lost their AI because I went through the mission too quickly. It didn't have time to migrate their AIs to this part. So none of the elites on this gondola are going to fight back. I'm going to get above the gondola and hide from all the flood, and then we will see who's the last man standing. I usually like to run a little channel bet and have people predict. So the options are, we've got the dual-wielding elite, we've got the carbine elite, we've got the sword elite, and we've got the other dual-wielding elite. So needle and plasma rifle. But only one of these guys will be the last man standing. Their challengers are the flood. We're gonna come from over here. Let's see. Get your bets in. I think I am going to choose neither plasma rifle combo. That's where my money's at. So we can listen to some donations here. This is 5 minutes of waiting. Read along. Read as much as you want.
5 minutes.
A little bit less.
That was me. That was me trying to crack my knuckles there. I think that'll do. Gordon Fearman gives $1,000. I think I speak for everyone who's played Halo 2 casually. This run is absolutely nuts. Skiles gives $50. The self-deletion of the backup save as a move of pure confidence in hitting the difficult trick is one of the greatest GDQ moments. Let's go, Monopoly. Sam gives $25. This Halo 2 run is bending my brain. So glad to have Monopoly as my Sherpa to explain what's going on so well. Thank you all for a great week supporting a great cause. Anonymous gives $10. Sometimes even a Master Chief has to break a few cakes to make a speed run. Gogeta gives $25. I can't believe how far speedrunning Halo 2 has come. I remember when super bouncing was the coolest glitch in the game. Thanks for running my favorite campaign. I've been excited to watch it. Master iRock gives $5. Best of luck on the run, Mono. Super bounce for old time's sake. Squidman gives $117. Yet another one in this little chain of reference donations. This Halo 2 run is beautiful and Monopoly is killing it. Shout out to all of the GDQ crew working hard behind the scenes to bring us all this awesomeness. Oh, excuse me there. Yop17, I think it's Yop 117. Yeah, Yop117 gives $11.70. Hey Monopoly, huge fan here. Glad to see you're back at a GDQ event. Halo 2 has always been my favorite Halo game, and I've been casually speedrunning it since the release of the Halo Master Chief Collection. I'm slowly working at beating Halo 2 in under 2 hours. You, Nails, Rockats, and the rest of the HaloRuns.com community are a huge inspiration to me. Good luck on the run. I can't wait for you to show off all those new co-op strats to the world. How much time do I have left here?
We're coming up on the end. Maybe like 2 or 3 more.
All right. Nibre gives $117. Good luck on the rest of the run, Mono, and here's to another 15 years of tricking in Halo 2. Anonymous gives $250. Echoing these words, trans rights are human rights. Absolutely. I say it once, I say it again. And then Fernando gives $15, $5 Halo train, wart. $5 for each wart.
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 Alright, so the end of this gondola has a sword fly. If you miss it, you kind of have to ride some of the gondola again, so we're going to really hope I don't miss it. But we're going to line up with these flood, and we're going to try to skip cutting a corner off of our path here. The winner of the Elite Derby, if you guys were paying attention, I got lucky, and I did choose the right guy. It's a pretty evenly distributed thing. I wasn't rigged, I swear. But anyone who bet on the dual-wield combo guy, he was the winner. Alright, here comes the difficult. It's not that difficult, but risky sword fly. And we nailed it. Ooh. So if I fall in that pit, I have to rewrite a lot of the like very long auto-scroller. It's a little scary. You never want to make that mistake. That's one of the worst mistakes you can make in the run. Now we are done with Quarantine Zone and on to Gravemind. Oh, we're no longer in the 117 range. I forgot the game crashed. Feels bad. Okay, so this mission starts out with some quick killing to progress the fight here. If you stand in the exact center of the room here, it tries to spawn enemies on the side that you're not on, and if you're exactly between the like sides, you're not on either side, so it doesn't spawn enemies on either side. I'm looking up and down slowly so that my animation doesn't go into the idle pose, and I'm standing like directly between the two volumes. And I'll know if I've waited long enough because now the enemies will spawn behind me. So what that did was that skipped a wave of brutes and grunts that you're supposed to kill, and it spawns you on the last wave immediately. Oh, well, I was hoping that guy would die. Did he still not die? Please? Are you kidding? Alright, a little bit sloppy on the start here. Lost a little bit to combat. Normally the Neither combines will kill those guys. Cortana animation bugged out a little bit there when she loaded in. That was funny. We do a melee cancel there to get up this ramp faster. So this big trick coming up in the middle of this level that's the most important. It's called Gravemind Prison Skip. Normally there's a whole prison section where you have to drop down and free your marines, and it's like 3 different encounters where you have to open some doors, kill some marines, wait for some dialogue, and repeat. If you get an enemy on top of your head and use the melee mechanics, you can drop down into the prison and then fly back up out of the prison, and you never have to kill anybody. The mission just thinks you visited and then left, and that's all it checks. There's just basically a flag that checks that you were there. You never actually have to accomplish the goal while you were there. So I'm gonna try to do that. It's one of the harder tricks left in the run. There's really like 2 major tricks left that I'm worried about, and this is one of them. I'm going to try to get a checkpoint right before it by clearing out this room. So we got our checkpoint, and now we get that jackal, spawn these guys. Okay, so these are the guys we're gonna try to get on our head. They're gonna walk forward, they're gonna do a little animation, we're gonna hopefully make him melee at us. He's supposed to melee at us. Okay, well that's why we got the checkpoint. Come on. Come on, buddy. I believe in you. You're supposed to do the thing. Okay, that's it. We've got him on our head. Now we hit this load zone, and then we quickly melee, jump, and cancel. And if you do it fast enough, really fast, you gotta mash. You can quickly turn the elevator around and go back where you came from. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Checkpoint was worth it. We saved a bunch of time. I despawned the enemies in this hallway by canceling too fast past a trigger. It technically loses time by going too fast. That's another spot in the run where that happens. I could be canceling off of more enemies, but I'm not too worried about that. It's very minor. Now I'm going to make sure that guy's dead. This is one of the cooler flies in the game, over the entire courtyard there. Get the slide. You can do a cool little trick here where you can preserve your momentum on these horizontal elevators. If you time 5 crouches really precisely and then jump, normally there's a small animation when you get off of those elevators where it like sets you down gently, but you can slide out of it as it's setting you down and keep your momentum sliding forward. I got like half of one there. I'll try to get a better one on these next 2. There's 3 opportunities for crouch outs, and that was like half of a success. We sword fly through this area. Gravemine's one of my favorite missions because you really exploit the sword. The sword's such a cool weapon in Halo 2. You just keep your momentum with all kinds of different tricks. Sword cancels, sword lunges, melee cancels. So far, so good. Ah, I got another half one. We're so close to the end of the run. Our time's almost over. I'm gonna miss you, Twitch chat.
In that case, would this be a great time to get some final donos in before we call time?
Yeah, let's hear a couple more. We still got a couple more missions, but get your donations in if you want them read. There's only a couple more points.
Oh yeah. Crinny Cow gives $150. Monopoly is one of the greatest dudes you'll ever meet. So good to see all of the work on this run is paying off. Rubicant gives $25. The message just repeats. Regret, regret, regret. What do you think it means? Dear humanity, we regret being alien. We regret coming to Earth, and we most certainly regret the corpse blew the heck out of our raggedy fleet. Go for the gold, Monopoly. Semper Fi. Rubicant also gave $10, saying, good luck on the run, Monopoly. Semper Fi. Ampilux gives $25. Heart. Christmas 4477 gives $5. Jumping on the $5 train. Love watching Halo 2 on the Nintendo Switch. Wait, it's not that kind of Switch? Thank you so much, Chris. That's actually a familiar face that I recognize, so it's always nice to see some of my friends among us as well. P Vigil 21 gives $25. GDQ has gotten me through some of the hardest times of my life and been there when we all need and continues to do so. And also gives me so much hope and optimism. And while my wife is away from med school of her own, I had to give some to Doctors Without Borders. And during the game, I have beaten most in my life, Halo 2. Thanks for all you do for the community and charity. Big Bang Flash gives $30. Hi, Monopoly. Incredibly happy to see you again at a GQ. I'm staying up late to watch this, so I'll probably be sleep deprived at work tomorrow, but it's definitely worth it. I'll donate $30 more if the Needler guy is the last survivor on the long gondola ride.
I was the Needler guy.
Well, there you go. If you're still watching Big Bang Flash, now's your chance.
Alright, well, we're on the third to last mission here now. The next one's really short. This mission is also very short. It's a bunch of sword flying and then an end trigger that you can hit. So there's a couple missions in this game where the ending trigger just exists from the very start of the mission. If you touch the end trigger, it'll finish. Even if you didn't accomplish any of the goals beforehand, the end will just happen. That doesn't happen on all of the levels, but these next 2 missions are examples of it. The next mission after this has the hardest trick in the run, where I try to hit a floating trigger that's in space. I'll explain that one a little bit more when I get there. But on this mission, I just use all the enemies and quickly try to get towards the end. A whole bunch of sword flies, sword cancels. The button combo to sword fly is switch weapons, cancel, and then lunge, so it's YXR, and you have to push it in a pretty tight timing. This is one of my favorite sword flies coming up. It's a little bit inconsistent. It relies on a jackal cooperating. And of course he didn't really. I'm not gonna make it. I was hoping to land up on that ledge, but I didn't get the cooperating enemy, so we have to jump up the old-fashioned way. You can do what's called tree jump. Jump out of this tree to get out of bounds. You're not normally supposed to go above the map here, but there's no barriers or anything preventing you. So normally on this mission, you're supposed to go way along to my left side, and there's a path with a ghost that you're supposed to take, kill a bunch of brutes, go into like an enclosure and kill some wraiths, and then kill some more brutes. And it takes like 5 minutes, but just jumping above the map and then doing some slide jumps and knowing where the end trigger is, it's right here on this little dark spot. If you crouch on the dark spot in this precise way, boom, mission ends. On to the next one. So this is the hardest trick in the run. That co-op trick and this one are the two ones I was most worried about. If I fail this more than once, I'm just gonna continue the run normally, but I'll try to give it one good go. We're already a little bit behind schedule though, so I can't fail this for too long. I'll give you one very solid attempt so you can see what it looks like, but if I miss it, we're gonna have to continue. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to bait this flood to the edge of the map. Once I get him to the edge of the map, he'll lose his AI pathfinding. Once he's lost his AI pathfinding, I can put him on top of my head. This trick's called butterflying, very similar to prison skip, but when he's on my head, we're doing it, there's no floors, there's no wall around us. You can only look up at this enemy. So what I'm doing is I'm looking up, and in a rhythmic fashion, I'm pressing melee, cancel the melee damage, jump, and backwards on the left thumbstick. So I had to do all of this while looking straight up and not being able to see where I go. There's a floating trigger that exists that ends the mission. It's invisible and it's floating way out in space. There's no wall around it, there's no floor around it, there's no really nothing. There's no really even good indications where it's at. You just have to kind of know. My modding friend Nibre, who's a long-term Halo tricker and friend, he knows a whole lot about the game. He discovered the trigger by looking at the scripts, and he found it that it was active. And once we knew that it was active, it was just a matter of time before trickers figured out, well, let's try to go touch it. So after a bunch of trials and tribulations, we found a trick that's called butterflying, where we have to put this enemy in our head and get there. I'm about halfway there right now, and it's looking a little shaky. Still got potential here. I'm gonna shut up and just try to hit it. It's very important that you hit all the buttons. If you miss your inputs, then the trick just fails, and he'll fall off your head and you'll fall and die. So under me, there is no floor. I have to, right now, you can't really tell what's even happening. I know it's a little bit difficult, but I'm using the shape of the structure to guide myself and know where I'm going. But right now I'm going straight down. The trigger is below me and way out floating in the distance. We're almost there. Getting close. I almost dropped him. Okay, I think we're gonna... Don't speak too soon. I think we're gonna get it though. We're almost there. Yes, let's go. Oh man. Let's fucking go. Oh, sorry. Let's go. Pardon the language. Let's freaking go. Oh, I was so stressed about hitting that one. Alright, now we're on the last mission here. we can relax a little. There's just a couple enemies we have to kill. We've got to progress the story to this scarab that's right above us and to the right. We'll escort that scarab to the final boss fight. In the final boss fight, we will complete the game. 5.5 or 6 minutes left at this point. So we will go a little bit over estimate. We're gonna be at about the 120 range, but some of that was a little bit out of my control with the crash, and some of it was because I was silly by I had a backup save. I planned for the inconsistency of that trick, and I threw away my plans. So, sorry for putting us behind by about 3 minutes. I could have done it. I was very ambitious, like I said, to set the hour and 17 goal, but I felt it was necessary to have a 117 estimate when playing this game. Alright, we gotta go back a little bit. Just, it felt thematic to the game. Just the whole Halo. Couldn't have not done it. Don't regret it. So this trick, you have to launch the ghost across this little gap. There we go, that's better. Normally you're supposed to drive around to the right and kill a bunch of brutes and stuff, but we just skipped a little bit there. You're not supposed to have it go through this section at all. Alright, we kill out these guys, and then we're on the actual real last auto-scroller. I know I said one of the other auto-scrollers is the last auto-scroller, but there's actually one more. Also, I'll do a cool trick here, maybe. Let's see, did I get it? No, I messed it up. It wouldn't have saved any time. It was just a visual trick. Okay, so now's a good time for donations. We're just gonna wait for this scarab to walk forward. I have to kill these wraiths, and then it's just scripted for the scarab to make its way to the final room. So take it away.
Oh boy, here we go then. Sergeant Major Avery Johnson gives $11.70. Earth. Haven't seen it in years. When I shipped out for basic, the orbital defense group was all theory and politics. Now look, the Cairo is one of 300 geosync platforms. That Mac gun can put a round clean through a Covenant capital ship. With coordinated fire from the Athens and the Malta, nothing's getting past this battle cluster in one piece. Ships have been arriving all morning. Nobody's saying much, but I think something big's about to happen. I hope that's
Intro quotes that you hear from the character over and over if you speedrun this game.
Yep, I hope I did it justice. Sure You Can Call Me gives $11.70. I think that Halo is a pretty good video game series. Don't you? Oh, absolutely. Todd F. also gives $11.70. First time donating, Monopoly is one of the best speedrunners I've seen on GDQ. Fun with lots of great explanations. I'm sorry the backup cake failed.
It happens.
Ikoma Tano Mori gives $150. Those poor defenseless elites on the big gondola, donating so that they can get the medical attention they desperately need right now. MSF can get a team to Installation 05, right? Jabrowski gives $5. I learned today that a fella I met playing an arcade game is actually an awesome Halo speedrunner. Good luck on the run, Monopoly.
Who was that
Pigeon.
one?
Chabrowski donated that one. They did not say who exactly they met.
Shoutouts to that guy. Shoutouts to Killer Queen friends.
Pigeon gives $50. Halo 2 has been a wild run to watch. Monopoly is doing a great job between running two characters and giving commentary over top. Also wanted to say thank you to my fellow baseball custodians and the keepers, or is that Blazeball? Let's try that again. Also wanted to say thank you to my fellow Blazeball custodians and the keepers who have made this year's SGDQ and watch an amazing introduction to the community. Incentive is runner's choice. Heart. Ellie Che gives $100. Shout out to Jake, Kyle, RC, and Mihai. Marinthia also gives $25, saying my significant other and I always love watching SGDQ. Lots of love to my fellow healthcare workers. Shout out to all healthcare workers. And $25 more from Marble with the Screaming Man. Ah! That was the comment, by the way.
Alright, well, we're entering the final fight of the game. The Scarab has made it to the end. It's gonna blow up this door. You're not supposed to bring a Banshee into the final fight, but the trigger that activates it overlaps with the place I'm gonna fly into. That'll let me get into it faster. This isn't where you're supposed to enter it from, but it's a trigger overlap. I don't need the Banshee because I'm on easy. Some of you might know the strategy where you can use the Banshee to clear the fight quicker, but on easy it doesn't make it any faster. Same with cloning Johnsons. So unfortunately, we're not gonna have multiple Johnsons like on the Legendary run you guys may be familiar with. We're just gonna kill him quick on easy. He does still, even though we're on easy, he still one-shots you. So you have to be safe. This is like one of the most risky parts of the run because his hammer does one-shot you. But we've done it. We've killed Tartarus. We've beat the game. Get ready to stop the time as soon as the screen turns white. Thanks everyone for watching. Check out my Twitch. I appreciate it. Support the charity. We've done it. We beat the game.
Okay, and I have to just say, as I'm about to read a few more donations, that was absolutely freaking tastic. Thank you so much to Monopoly for that epic Halo 2 run, and despite all the things that have happened, I gotta say that was absolutely well worth reaching $1 million for. And I hope you, chat, and to anybody watching anywhere elsewhere, agree. But with that said, we are coming up on Manifold Garden by Nerd Squared, and as we are just about almost ready for that, let's get in some more donations, shall we? We got Unknown or Unknown, spelt like the Pokemon name, giving $25. I just had to donate something to Doctors Without Borders. Keep up the great work, and thanks to GDQ for being such a welcoming environment. Give yourselves a hand. Alrighty, and Man Bear Paradox gives $100 with no comment, but thank you. Alrighty, so I'd love to read a bit more, but we gotta do a bit of a break here, so we'll be right back. You guys are watching SGDQ 2021, and we'll see you in just a bit. Stay tuned. And we are back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you all are still here. I absolutely am glad to have you with me, as my name is Tempest Mask 1000. You guys are watching Summer Games Done Quick 2021, and we are supporting MSF, a wonderful, wonderful organization. And before we get on to Nerd Squared with Manifold Garden, we are just about ready, but let's get a couple more donations in, shall we? Survivor of Reach gives $15. I love the Halo games. What a fantastic event and run. Did you know that if you throw a plasma grenade on a moving elevator, it just keeps bouncing? Keep it up, cute chat. Loving these vibes. Thanks to everyone that makes this happen. And Timey Swirls gives $10. Bet on the wrong elite. Shout out to Mono for years of being the best Halo speedrunner and rolling with every punch this run throws. This is top 10 of this GDQ easy. And Firefly gives $11.70 once more, and saying, one ticket for the 117 train to this spectacular run.